Yeah, you look like you just like stormed in a room and you're just like, yeah, I just got shit canned.
You look like you just got back from a great lunch at Red Lobster.
That is true. Welcome back to Castpergers. I'm your host, Eli Halpern, with this stellar graphic behind me that I found on some make-your-own 80s-looking thing website like a year ago.
It looks good.
And I'm joined here with two of my longest best friends, Gary Faust and Cody Smith, from the good old Santa Barbara days. And as you may know, Cody, Gary is my producer. Cody, on the other hand,
is your new manager.
He's just in town having a good time. You may know Cody from our eviction proceedings, if you followed me and Gary's story.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys go over that one?
Nothing to do with that. I have nothing.
I think you guys both had something to do with that.
He's still mad about it. I don't know, like, legally speaking,
something.
I don't have anything to do with that.
Listen, all I can tell you is Cody did have eviction proceedings. We were present at the time.
Throwing bottles out the window.
All right.
That was not us.
No, that was not us.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was two other assholes who were staying at my place.
Yeah, there's a lot of assholes staying at your place.
The one thing I said before we did this podcast was, do not criminally implicate me in anything. First thing he does is, the cops got called because you're slanging shit out in the window of my house when I'm in fucking Barcelona teaching kids how to do sign language or whatever the fuck you were doing. God damn it. So how you guys been?
So you guys come here often, or?
This is the first time all three of us have been hanging out together.
Yeah, in years.
It's been like, what, 4 or 5 years, I think, since we've all been in the same room.
And we just pick up right where we left off. That's humanity.
Humanity at its finest.
How are you enjoying Austin?
Austin so far, dude. It's been, I don't really remember much of it from the weekend, but the parts I do remember, it's been excellent.
That's how they get you.
Oh, they get me. They got me.
It's easy to get sucked in here. You don't have self-control.
Oh, I got sucked in and sucked off.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's actually...
Again, stop implicating Gary.
Fuck off. It's...
I'm not implicating Gary, I'm implicating Charlie.
It's
He's underage, obviously.
It's...
Oh, shit, so I'm implicating myself now?
Austin is really similar to Santa Barbara, but the adult version of it.
I mean, if you want to call it the adult version of it, I've been...
Well, no one fights each other.
What are you talking about? On 6th Street, there's a fight every night.
There was almost a fight.
6th Street is like Del Playa.
That is true. I take that back. 6th Street is like Del Playa.
I've lived here for 4.5 years, and the similarities between Santa Barbara and Austin are astounding. And it seems like everybody I know that lived in Santa Barbara is now moving here.
Hey, Charlie, can you mess with the color a little bit? I want to look like I actually go out in the sun.
Well, then maybe you should.
I'm kind of a homebody these days.
I'd say the biggest difference between Santa Barbara and Austin are...
Dude, I'm even whiter than you because I got this fucking light beaming.
Yeah, but like the whiteness that you're reflecting is like a reflection of the light.
I feel like people do a lot less heroin out here.
Did a lot of people do heroin?
Speak for yourself, man.
Did people do a lot of heroin in Santa Barbara? I just remember a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, and like that's the thing I never got. Like Santa Barbara was the most beautiful place. There were so many things to do, and then there were so many students doing heroin.
Yeah, that's what I say about Austin. It's like there's such a beautiful city with so much to do at all times, and people want to do horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do ketamine.
I think that the
cat tranquilizer, whatever.
I've never done it, but I feel like that's like a little bit more fun than heroin. Like, what do you do when you do heroin? You just like fall asleep?
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, ketamine is really cool.
Yeah, ketamine, from what I've heard, is pretty cool, but...
But yeah, on West 6th, there's never any fights or rainy.
I was talking to somebody last night that said they got jumped on West 6th. Remember that? Who were we talking to that said they got in a fight on West 6th?
Oh, it was that guy who was like mean mugging us in the on the way out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
But it's why he got jumped.
But it turned out he wasn't mean mugging. No,
that's exactly why he said he got jumped, was because he was mean mugging somebody. I don't even.
Maybe he just has one of those faces.
He did have one of those faces. He was actually a really cool guy.
I don't know.
We traded Instagram.
I feel like I have one of those faces too, because I've had multiple people tell me that like, oh yeah, this guy said that you were like staring at him. I was like, oh, I didn't mean to. It's just how my face looks.
I have a punch face. You might have like a natural mean mug face, but people just want to punch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. You do have a punchable face.
Yeah. I mean, sorry.
Gary has a likable face.
Oh.
Or just like, I don't know. I just see Gary's face and I'm like, I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. It also helps to have a suit and a microphone, and then everybody thinks you're credible immediately. That's how I got all those interviews done on 6th Street.
Yeah,
All over the place.
I need to whip out my suit. It's getting a little cooler.
Dude, I think you should start doing man on the street interviews. I know you don't really want to do it, but I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah, no, I've always said we should do that. Once we get out there, I'm just like, I need to be hammered to be around people. I forget.
Yeah, I don't know why you're like that.
I forget what a degenerate alcoholic I am.
You're pretty well spoken.
You don't even drink anymore.
What?
You don't even drink anymore.
Exactly. That's why I don't
I've been here
really have fun.
I've been here for like 4 days and I haven't seen you drink once.
Yeah. I don't really. It's a balance because like I sacrifice my social life to not drink, but I feel like overall better about myself as a person because I'm getting a lot of shit done.
Yes, I am. Dude, you and I are going through a really similar stage.
But I do think getting hammered is important, and in a month or two, I'll go on like a really deep bender.
Yeah, no, bender's always good, dude.
Benders are important.
I don't really drink at all. What?
You're hammered every goddamn night.
No, I don't.
You woke up with a White Claw in your hand.
Well, okay. Cody's been here for 3 days, and I've gone out.
Oh, Cody,
How many times did I go out before Cody was here? I haven't gone out.
I don't know. You didn't invite me.
Jesus Christ! I feel like I'm on trial right now.
Yeah, you.
Where were you?
You look like you're on trial.
This is going to be really meta when this is used in trial against me.
You keep saying meta. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Meta. Charlie, how do I explain that?
He doesn't even know.
He doesn't have. I don't know how to explain it, and Charlie's good at explaining things.
Charlie, look up the words that I'm using on a constant basis.
It means it's a reference to itself.
A reference to itself, like breaking the fourth wall. Meta,
short for meta key,
referring to itself or the conventions of its genre, self-referential. So what I said was completely correct. I also have an English degree. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't like that word.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound good. Like, it's like, I feel like you could use a lot. There's a couple words that you could use that mean the same thing that sound better.
Sure. I thought it would mean something like,
sure.
You mean a synonym?
Synonymous, yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
You guys are all retards.
Yeah, you guys, neither of you knew the word I was using.
Yeah, because it sucks.
Castpergers. This is a sweet sign. I'm gonna get this on a shirt.
I actually do really.
No, you know what you need to do is get that made make this into a banner, and then I'm gonna panel that wall, and then we can have it for real, and just pull the banner up.
Yeah, but that costs money. This is free.
This is the dude coming out.
You can go the free route.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing. That's because I'm Jewish, though.
But now the new wood paneling looks really good back there. You did a good job on that, Gary.
We just had a really delicious meal at Red Lobster.
Oh, it was great. The lobster bisque. I highly recommend it.
And I just got to say that that place is way underrated.
I've been telling you this for years, dude.
I've never been there until like 2 months ago. This is the second time.
I actually don't think I've been to a Red Lobster in like 10 years. And I've really been missing out.
Yeah, I got crab legs.
Snow crab.
Lobster tail.
It was pretty good. Hey, so we're going to try to do a podcast from Red Lobster next Monday.
Called Red Laughter.
Rock Lobster.
A long-term relationship. So, yeah, why don't you tell them about the Red Laughter podcast?
Yeah, that was it.
It's real meta.
That's the whole thing.
I mean, we're still working out the kinks. There's a lot of those.
And then we're going to end it by stealing a lobster from the tank.
So what I'm thinking we should do is we should have a live lobster on the table.
Careful with the tapping. It's going to come through the mics.
Yeah, he's real bad about that.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
He's new.
I'm new here, all right?
He is new.
But I'm saying we have a live lobster on the table while we're doing our casting.
I think that's a funny idea.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Like maybe a live lobster.
No, we're going to get like animal abuse people.
How is it abuse, dude? We're like taking it out.
It's not about being right, Cody. It's about people saying things that are stupid.
It's like the Big Brother program.
I feel like we're on a panel right now.
This is exactly what it is.
It's like we're on like a podcast panel where we're doing.
I do this.
I lost totally.
I do this with all my friends who come on the podcast. I like to talk about how we met and some of the forthcomings of meeting.
Yeah, and when I met you, dude,
Do you recall?
You lived right next door. I lived at 6619, and you were. No, did you live at 25, or you were just friends with everyone who lived at 25?
I was just always there.
Yeah,
I lived on Madrid.
Yeah, okay. You were just always there, and yeah, you were. Time did you well. You were really fucking weird looking back then. Like, I look at some pictures, and I'm like, I don't know how like you got laid at all, because.
Same way Trump got elected. Confidence.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Delusional confidence.
Being delusional.
Yeah.
Can we pull up a picture of old Eli? Just so everyone knows. I think people have
How
forgot,
long are we talking? 10 years ago?
Shit, dude. Don't ever say that.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, it is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I hate the way that sounds.
Yeah, I moved there in February 2011.
Oh, no. So, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you moved there in February 2011. I think I got there.
I left
August.
in June of 2013.
I got there in August in 2011. And
I was joking when I said 10 years. It really has been 10 years.
I know. That's like the scary thing.
Maybe 9. Probably 9. I think I met you the next year.
Yeah, let's do 9.
But how do we meet, though?
I think I just met because I was just across the fence and I lived with that one crazy guy, Brewer, and
Oh, yeah.
he was the life of the party.
Let me tell my favorite story of
What
Brewer,
the fuck was that, Charlie?
which is also one of my biggest regrets in life for not filming this. Brewer runs head first into his own bedroom door, knocks the door open, and knocks himself out cold.
That sounds like Brewer. No, that's not even a bad one, dude. There are so much worse than that. Keep going. Go way back. They are so much worse.
Don't go that far back. I need to delete my fucking Instagram.
I want you to. He had like real bad hair too. So
Really?
that's a good one.
Well, because the buzz cut?
Oh my god. Yeah, Eli.
Was that Trevor?
Yeah. All right, enough me. Just
Yeah.
kidding. Keep it going.
Yeah. No, but anyways, my favorite thing about Brewer, you talked about his doors. Him running into the door. That man had like a new door. Yep, that's the Eli I remember.
Yeah, with the backwards hat and the blue mid shoes.
Dude,
You're right.
You really grew into your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
grew into my personality.
I met you way after
Yeah,
this.
you met him like
years later.
You
like
met him after he watched
2014.
Wolf of Wall Street and like
Yes, I met him
Sorry.
right as he was watching it.
yeah.
Yeah.
When in my mortgage slanging days.
Yep.
Yeah, that was when Gary came to visit me.
Yeah, we can't tell that story. I don't think I can tell any of the origin. I can't tell the one with Jared either. I really can't tell that story.
Jared.
Well, I got.
When's the first time I met you? First time I met you wasn't that bad. I cut my hand open real bad and bled all over your house.
This guy, yeah, you came over to my house to help me clean up, and he's just over here. Absolutely
Why?
hammered.
Okay, hold on a second.
You
What-
live next to me.
I lived next to you, and I think I had just moved in because I might have been ran out of the last place I was at.
That sounds about right.
And I came over with some beers, some Rolling Rocks. That was when I used to drink Rolling Rock, and I didn't even put it in the fridge because I would go through a 24-pack by myself and before it would get
Wait,
warm.
you want to say I was weird looking? Gary was the weirdest
Oh
looking
my
motherfucker.
god! And he wore. Remember, he had that one jacket with the furry collar.
The corduroy jacket.
He wore it every fucking day with that
Yeah.
long hair.
Yeah,
Man, Gary got fucking gorgeous.
yeah.
That was a glow up.
Dude, I've been going out lately and just like it's weird. I don't even care about actually getting laid, but it's almost like is it confirmation that I can? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like I've been you were with me the other night, dude. Like all these fucking sexy ass girls were walking up to me and they're like, "Hey, you want to buy me a drink?" And I was like,
I wouldn't say that. They were just like locking eyes with you, but
that one girl walked up and was like, she like wouldn't leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I made a bet with her and I was like, you can buy me a drink if you. Like I tongue twisted it so that it was super manipulative, but I was like,
You can suck my dick.
if you buy me a drink, you can suck my dick. It was something like that.
Wet your whistle.
Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, I got really good looking. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you used to look like Jim Morrison
In a
did meth
rehab or
instead
something.
of
Yeah.
heroin.
yeah. Yeah, he was like my next door neighbor. He comes over to help me clean up, and he's just absolutely hammered the whole time, breaking shit. And then he throws away half of my groceries that I just bought.
Yeah. And he buys that like organic, like fruity, high class.
I bought like nice groceries, and then I'm like, hey, where'd all my groceries go that I just bought? And they're in the dumpster. And then he's doing the dishes.
And then Gary's just like, "You're welcome."
Yeah, and then this is the best part. He's doing the dishes, and I'm like, no, Gary, like you're doing too much, man. Just like sit on the couch and drink your beers. Like you're doing way too much. The groceries was like, that was enough. And he's over there doing the dishes, breaking every fucking cup. And then he's like, comes running into my room, and he's got blood all over his hand.
I didn't go into your room. What happened was I must have broke 2 or 3 glasses, and Like, I still have a giant scar from one of them.
Yeah, and
It was really, like, there was blood everywhere.
everywhere, and I'm trying to clean
But
up
I didn't.
the house.
But I felt bad, so I didn't tell him at first.
Yeah, and he just bled everywhere.
Yeah. I was like, damn it, I tried to help this guy clean his dishes. Just moved in next door. I'm the worst neighbor ever. Fucking sliced my knuckle open.
Yeah, but didn't I duct tape it closed?
Threw away his food.
No,
Bled all over his house.
Hey, you know what the funniest part is? The reason I thought that his food was trash was because it was a bunch of like fancy vegetables. I thought it was like,
Is this rotten?
Yeah.
This doesn't look like a fucking Hostess bar to me.
Right?
pizza rolls.
Gary
This
only
ramen.
knows gas station food.
Dude, I in college ate 7-Eleven pizzas probably every other day.
Oh god.
It was horrible.
I've never.
But I
had
have-
one, and I never will.
I had
what?
one.
You never ate a 7-Eleven pizza?
No,
They're not
I'll never
good.
eat food from 7-Eleven. I'd rather be hungry.
You don't like those roller dogs? What do you mean?
The last time I had a 7-Eleven pizza, I was it was in Santa Barbara. I was skating back to Zach's house with it, and I hit a rock, and I fell off my skateboard. Anyways, the pizza goes flying across the street, and I just put it back in the box. I gave it to Zach and Gator.
And they probably loved it.
Oh, they loved it.
Fucking dirtbag
Yeah, they were
idiots.
just eating the rocks right off the top.
I feel like I remember that.
I went back to Red Rose one time, and Zach and Gator were rubbing broken glass all over their face.
Dude, they were absolutely nuts.
They're two of the dumbest people I've ever met.
Well, I went back to Red Rose. It was about 6 months ago. I just drove by just to see it.
Yeah.
And the grown man who lived below us, Trevor, I think his name was.
Yeah, that guy hated us.
Oh, he hated us, and he had a family and everything, and
Yeah,
was
I
just
feel-
trying to
I-
raise his kids. I
in,
felt horrible.
In hindsight, I feel bad.
Yeah, I feel bad. And anyways, I pulled into like the little turnaround, and he sees me, and I just saw the soul leave his body. He like saw me, recognized me, and he was just like, "Oh my god,
God damn it. That guy still lives there?
Yeah, he still lives there. I mean, it's a pretty sweet spot, dude. That place on Red Rose was nice. If you,
I would remember.
it had like a beautiful ocean view with like view of the islands.
Yeah, the view is
Did
insane.
you see the ocean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The ocean, the islands.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, dude.
That place
Your
was...
living room?
And the crazy part was we had...
I moved into Gary's house.
Yeah, I was an alcoholic.
Yeah, you were always drunk.
I don't remember that at all.
I didn't drink in college.
Yeah, you were always drunk.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the best time of my life. I've never been happier.
Yeah, it was a fucking great time, dude. Again, just,
I don't remember how much I paid there for that.
dude, I remember I was getting like a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
think
very
was, like-
expensive.
I think it was only
Well,
like
you had
$7.50.
5 people living in.
Yeah, but I had my own room, and
A
then there was
two-bedroom.
4 of them in the other room.
Yeah.
They had bunk beds, so you had like 22-year-olds sleeping in bunk beds.
And then
Oh, you had those weird like Chinese people that never spoke.
no, that was me. That's who I
that
lived
was
with.
him, and that
Yeah,
was
and they would like wipe their boogers on the wall and
this was the
scream at
weirdest
their
thing.
parents at 4 a.m. because of the time difference. So they'd be like, "Well,
Well, I remember Harry because I did live there after I went to Europe, and I moved in to that place, and I lived with Carrie.
Carrie.
horrible driver,
I call him Harry because
horrible driver.
Come on.
Fulfilled the stereotype big time.
worst driver. But anyways, that guy he was the weirdest freaking guy in the world. He had a diet of only Coca-Cola
Yep,
and cake
yep,
and that little cutie juice.
yeah.
Remember the cutie
Dude,
tangerine
dude,
juice?
living with those two guys,
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
that was an eye opener for me on how absolutely filthy. Excuse me, how absolutely filthy Chinese people are.
Oh my god, it was
They're disgusting.
well, and then
Because then I also I knew somebody like some guy that was from Japan
You got to wear a mask just
and
to be around
SB.
them.
And, seriously, and the Japanese guy was one of the cleanest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
So it's like,
oh yeah, like the Japanese culture is completely different than Chinese. The Japanese are clean. The Chinese are
well,
just dirty.
what I'm saying is,
Yeah, it's because we nuked them and they got their shit together. That's why we need to nuke China.
well, I'm just
I'm
saying.
not against it.
I thought that I always like assumed that a lot of Asian cultures were really cleanly. Is that racist?
No, I think it's like the opposite of racist. That's just like it's a good
No, I mean like I realize I blanket stereotyped like the entire East Asian continent.
but like in a positive light. So maybe it's like positive racism. But no. Anyways, Carrie used to blow dry his whole body. He didn't use a towel, and he had a 7 a.m. class, and I would wake up every morning to hearing him blow drying his body.
Yeah.
And then like I guess he'd get around his pee-pee and you'd hear him like, hee, like giggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But he'd be in there for like 20 minutes.
He also used to shoot birds off of the phone lines with a pellet gun.
Yeah. Oh, and he'd piss all over the toilet seat.
Everywhere. Never washed anything.
Never washed anything.
Dude, at one time the sink got clogged and they had the nerve to say it was because of me. They're like, you put your hair in the sink or something, and I was like, are you guys kidding?
Yeah.
You guys are filthy fucking animals, man.
Dude, he was.
Think it's me?
He was filthy. Yeah, I remember one time I was having like friends over. We were pre-gaming, pre-drinking, and Carrie just comes out of his room, no shame, wearing whitey tighties, and he was about. I mean, he looked like a little rice farmer. All right, this guy stood about like 5'2". He had like the worst teeth I've ever seen.
Yeah, he had disgusting.
Oh my god, he was absolutely disgusting.
Dude, those guys were.
He just comes walking across the room with his whitey tighties in front of like we had like 6 people over, like girls and everything, and he's just walking across, no shame, to go get his Coca-Cola.
He
didn't
give
him his room.
I fuck with that.
Carrie,
what about that guy that like just got out of prison or something?
Demetrius.
Yeah.
Oh, Demetrius, dude, he was freaking weird.
Gnarly guy. You remember that time when he had the ramen noodle package and he said, "Yo, man, it's crazy. You could like actually make what's on the package."
Yeah, he was like, you
and
can
it was
put
just
like a real piece
noodles
of
with like a piece of chicken on top.
He was like, yeah, man, like look at this. You can actually make this.
You don't say. You could.
You can put a piece of chicken. Get the fuck out. Yeah, and then I told him about wine one time. I was like, yeah, man. I gave him a glass of wine. I think he was like 20. He was probably 30.
He was 5 years older than us.
Okay, well, it was like his first glass of wine, and then after that, he started drinking wine because it was so cheap. Yeah, and he thought he was all classy.
Was he drinking the Carlo Rossi?
He was drinking it out of a paper bag like a 40.
Really?
Yeah, he'd be drinking like a bottle of Barefoot Moscato out of a paper bag.
That guy was ghetto, dude. One time he tried to fight me because Jared and I were hanging out with a bunch of chicks, and I had like a bottle of fucking Jack Daniels or something, and he said, "Man, can I get some?" And I said, "No, not at all. Why the hell would I give you any of this?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like said a bunch of shit I couldn't understand what he was saying, and then he tried to fight me, and Jared stood up, looked him dead in his eyes, and said, "Don't talk to my friend like that. We're going outside." Dude comes back in 2 minutes later, and Demetrius looks like he saw a ghost. I don't know what Jared did to him or what out there, but it worked.
I don't know what Jared did either, but Demetrius. I got some ideas, but we'll save that for another conversation. Yeah. Jared, if you're watching.
And also, do you remember when Cody's house got robbed?
3 times?
It was not Demetrius.
It was
found out.
Yeah, we found out, and it was like the same feller. So yeah, my house got robbed twice.
Who?
Christian Rios.
No way.
Yeah.
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
Christian Rios. If you're watching this, Christian, I know it was you.
I don't condone snitching.
Am I telling the cops?
He's calling him out.
I'm calling him out.
He's calling him out.
For being a thief.
Wait, that was the 6619 spot, I thought.
Yeah, 66619 got robbed twice by Christian Rios. He came into my house. First, he stole my TV out of my house at like 5 in the morning.
Was that guy a drug addict?
A Friday night.
Yes.
And he stole my TV and left a note, dude. And like, this man.
Sorry, this isn't where I parked my car.
No, he left a note and it said,
"How am I driving right now?"
It said, "Paid back's a bitch." And like, dude, he is just.
What did you do to him?
Nothing. We were friends. We were friends at the time. Yeah. He was like a klepto. It turned out that like he stole shit from like a lot of friends in Santa Barbara.
What a shitbag.
Yeah. And that was the first time I got robbed. And then dude, that Ivy house. I don't know if you remember my place in Ivy. It got burned down.
What?
Yeah.
The couch got set on fire. There was I had the 7 plagues of Egypt happen in there. There was like thieves. There was a snake in my house one night. I woke
Toilet overflow? Did we have one of those?
The upstairs toilets overflowed, so the whole freaking unit was covered in 2 inches of shit water.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then I had to argue with the property manager to come clean it up. And she's like, okay.
Hey, you know what? I just realized you can't be mad at me for us getting you evicted because I saved your ass from getting evicted in the first place. So we're even.
Where?
At fucking Red Rose, because they were going to kick you out, and I had to talk to the management guy because I was the only person. Funny enough, I was the only person that he like didn't think was a.
No, Andy liked me.
No, I talked to him about it, and he was like, this fucking Cody guy. I thought he was cool, and this and he had like this whole fucking spiel, and I was basically like, well, so what are the odds of being able to keep like Zach and Gator and those idiots in there? And he was like, not happening. And I said, well, can you keep Cody? And he said, yeah. And then like 3 days later, we got you evicted. But
Oh, so you like...
Well, I saved you, and then...
You prolonged the process by a whole 3 days. Fucking hats off to you, Gary.
Hey, that's something.
No, you were...
3 days that I wasn't even there.
Would you rather have a dick in your ass for 3 days or not?
Thank you.
3 days makes a big difference.
Very good analogy. What do you think about that, Charlie?
But
Perfect analogy.
Charlie, you mic'd? No. Charlie said it's a perfect analogy.
That's why I repeated it.
Look, you guys aren't yelling at Charlie for not being mic'd. You guys were sure yelling at me earlier when I wasn't mic'd.
Yeah, but Charlie's Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie's doing important things.
He's the broadcast tech.
I'm just fucking Cody.
Look at him.
You're just a manager.
I'm just the fucking manager of this whole show, this whole production process.
I gotta leave in 10 minutes.
Do you? Oh yeah, so let's go back to my place when I found that snake in the middle of the night in my room. It turned out to be like the neighbor's snake, Louie, and had been living in my place for like 6 months. And I found it at like 4 a.m. And when I had pictures with Louie, he was a cute little snake. You know, he was about this big when I had pictures with him. I was holding him. And then when I find him in my room, like I like snakes, but when they're in your room, it's a whole nother story. All right, that's like my domain. I was scared shit.
Unexpected.
Yeah, unexpected.
How big was it? How big was the snake?
Louie
just showing up like a no-knock warrant.
Here, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, Louie was about 3 feet long at that point. 3 feet. And he was like red and black colored, so it's like a scary color for a snake, you know? And he's just slithering around my room, and I was like petrified. I was standing on my computer chair, and I had my girlfriend at the time, because snake had meandered underneath my clothes, and my ex-girlfriend was like pulling through the clothes, because I was too scared to do it. And she's pulling through the clothes, and I'm on the computer chair with a bat, ready to smack it. And then finally I had the thing cornered. It was hissing at me, coming at me. I was fucking scared shitless. And then I finally had it cornered, and it looked me in the eye. And I looked back at him, and I just dropped the bat, and I was like, I can't do this. So I ended up catching the snake and letting it go.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you just...
Right out the back door. So
you think he remembered you?
I like to think he did.
He's been living in your shit for a while. So
he'd been eating good, too, dude, because Louie was about 3.
What was he eating?
He's probably cuddling up with me, to be honest, dude. You know?
Like eating pieces of you?
Yeah, what?
What
kind of an answer is that? What was he eating? He was cuddling up to me.
What was he eating? I mean, it was IV, dude. He's probably eating rats and shit.
And trash.
And trash.
Yeah. He's probably eating the fucking red rose diet.
Right. Well,
you know, one of the things I miss most about IV is you could litter and recycle at the same time.
Oh, dude, it was the best.
We would just throw all of our trash on our front lawn, and then, I don't know if this is a racist term, but we call them can fairies.
No, that's what they were.
Oh,
they were magical creatures.
They all happen to be Mexican women, and they would just come by with shopping carts and fill them up with recyclables and go cash it out.
Yeah, and then
Eli, were you living there when he was like, Cody was like down the street from that fucking school shooter? You remember that?
Yeah.
No, I had just moved out 3 months before that.
I was living...
you were down the street when it happened, right?
Yeah,
like
I was down the
you
street.
actually heard the gunshots?
Yeah, I was down the street at Trent's house when that happened. But, yeah, back to the can fairies. No, it was the best part. They were awesome. Like, you would have a party, and then the next day you would just leave your door open. They'd come in, take all the cans, and they would take the trash as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you guys let us take your cans. We'll take your trash out for you.
I never lived in IV.
Oh.
So...
You missed out, dude. It was
probably why you're not in prison.
Yeah, I think it was really a good thing I didn't actually.
Really? I mean, I feel like you couldn't really get in too much trouble in IV.
I disagree.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I didn't get.
But the cops were more lenient because they're like
definitely a lot more lenient.
I remember I fucking threw a glass bottle across the street one night. And then someone was walking by and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Fuck you, faggot."
Well, remember on how
and then I walked back into the party and 8 cops walk in and the one in the front knows me and he's like, "Eli, why'd you throw that glass across the street?" And then the cop in the back's like, "You call that guy a faggot?" And I was like, "Oh, that wasn't me. I'm sorry. Just taser me, officer. Please tase me. Don't take me to jail." And he's
tase me, bro.
Tase me, bro.
He like sits me down and he's like, "You got 1 minute to clean up all the trash in this lot right now, and you're good." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, 58 seconds. And I just got up and started scrambling, picking up all this trash.
So they were just...
Well, do you remember Halloween at...
He just made me pick up trash for...
Remember Halloween at Keith's?
That's a punishment that fits the crime.
When that cop threw the beer at Trent?
What?
No.
Yeah, you were there. It was when you dressed up as Walter White's son. Yeah.
Dude, I was telling that story to people the other night, and I had like 6 people just huddled around, like attentively listening. And half of them were like laughing hysterically, and the other half were just like, "What the fuck is wrong?"
No, that was honestly the best costume you had, and you were so in character. And that was when you were ugly, like so you kind of looked like you had Down syndrome.
Yeah, dude, people actually thought I was retarded.
Yeah, I did. Until you grew this beard. But Keith, when that cop threw the beer at Trent, and then Trent threw it back at the cop and hit him right in the back, and then the cops came running back over. Like the cops came back over, and I remember it was the funniest thing. Eli, you had what are those things called? The arm crutches. You had those, and like the cops came up to the fence line, and like you were holding the line with your arm crutches, like holding the cops back from Trent.
What? I don't remember this at all.
And then this was like the best story. And then like I name dropped Bill Brown, the sheriff. I was like, he's my uncle, and like because they were about to arrest Trent for like throwing a beer at a fucking
assaulting an officer.
For assaulting an officer. Yeah. And then like I don't know, like I just had some drunk wisdom come to me, and I was like, blah, 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 like you projected a missile into an occupied dwelling. I was like, I'm putting you under citizen's arrest and like...
Oh, yeah, dude, you used to come up with this like random like legal knowledge.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm putting you under citizen's arrest, and like there was like a crowd forming because it was Halloween in IV and everyone's like watching, and I'm like, you would blah, 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 like all these people saw you do it, this and that, and then like they're doing good cop, bad cop. The guy comes over to me, he's like, hey, is Bill Brown really your uncle? And I'm like, yeah, that's my uncle, bro. You want me to call him right now? And they're like, no, that's not necessary. And then anyways, the cop came back up and was like, apologize. I told him to apologize to Trent, and he's like, I'm sorry, man. And like went to shake Trent's hand, and I'm like, don't shake his hand.
Dude, he's the best bullshitter alive. He's been here for 3 days. We're in HE.
There it is. And yeah, Eli, you were holding the line with like those crutches. It was so hilarious to see.
Dude, we were in HEB the other day, and he just wanders onto a commercial set, like a barbecue sauce commercial.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be in a commercial.
I'm like exactly what I said. It's that weird. He just wandered onto a commercial set and like got into like he's on a commercial.
Did you have lines?
No, I just
in the background.
No, I walked into it and I talked to the guy who was the owner of the barbecue sauce, and he was like, doing a little promo video, and I went up and I just started asking him questions about his sauce. And yeah, so what was it? Jenks sauce. Jenks barbecue sauce.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty damn
good. It is
good.
pretty good. I tasted it last night.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty surprised how good it was.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, well, hey, this was fun. I'm here till Wednesday, so let's do it again.
Wednesday?
I don't know.
Tune in next week. Thank you.